JLo's love may not cost a thing, but being married to her has a lot of rules.
Jennifer Lopez has some very strict rules for Ben Affleck to follow, and these rules allegedly are supposed to make their relationship work better. The first rule is Ben needs to get along with Marc Anthony.
One of the more encouraging rules, friends with Marc Anthony.
We all know Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, they've had their fair share of celebrity relationships, but according to this rule, well, Ben needs to get along with J-Lo's ex-husband, Marc Anthony. And this is all because he is the father of their twins, right? So it's said that they have a pretty close relationship, even though they got divorced back in 2014. Another rule is that whenever she goes to the gym, well, Ben's gotta pack up his gym bag and go along with her.
Well, at first, no, I just loved it.
Of course, gym dates are pretty common now among couples, and J-Lo's workout routine though, yeah, this one is pretty intense because she's J-Lo. Like, she has to weight train and strength train for hours on end, and she apparently refuses to do this alone. So every time she goes to the gym, Ben needs to accompany her the entire time and also maintain his own fitness.
Lopez reportedly put Affleck on a strict diet and workout regimen since the two started dating again.
There's also this strange rule about tipping. Okay, so there was a former employee of a casino that shared about how Jennifer Lopez was very stingy with Ben's money, saying, and I quote, "Lopez tells Affleck not to tip. He doesn't tip anymore, baby. You don't need to tell him nothing. He ain't doing it." There have also been some other allegations that say that she would take away big tips from service workers if Ben actually gave them a tip. Maybe Ben is too generous of a tipper. Who knows? But hey, he's got millions of dollars.
It was very much like great and joyful and wonderful.
J-Lo also requires Ben to keep the house spotless. Of course, they have millions of dollars. They can afford all the housekeepers, the maids, yard workers, you name it. But J-Lo supposedly has some pretty strict rules for Ben, and he needs to follow them 100%. Like, he can't leave a dish out without washing it up. She wants to keep the house 100% clean. Yeah, I can just see her right now, kind of just micromanaging. Oh, that cup, rinse out that cup, wash that plate. This next rule kind of makes sense. No female flight attendants allowed. So let me explain this one. According to Fox News, J-Lo, she still does not allow female flight attendants on her private planes after her then husband, Marc Anthony, allegedly cheated on her with one. So, I mean, there could still be some scars there. I don't see anything wrong with this rule at all. She's just trying to make sure that Ben doesn't have any wandering eyes looking at the flight attendants. Makes sense. The rules continue. Ben is in charge of buying the homes as well as in charge of moving. According to the Spanish tabloid Marca, in order to keep J-Lo happy, Ben needs to be in control of all of their relocation affairs, such as moving or buying a house. House hunting is definitely hard enough, but not being able to divide it up amongst each other, yeah, that's gonna be even harder. But yeah, that's Ben's job, and this is all to keep J-Lo happy. Another rule that J-Lo makes Ben follow is that he needs to be 100% open and honest about his recovery from drinking too much. She reportedly checks in with him frequently just to make sure that he's not going back to those old habits. Having no more kids is another strict rule, and there's no wiggle room with this one. J-Lo is done with having children. She's not planning to have any more, and she needed to make sure that Ben 100% understood this. No more children. Now, this next rule is kind of complementary to another past rule talking about Ben and drinking. Well, she has long been accused of being very strict when it comes to how many drinks that they have when they go out. And this is not just with Ben, by the way. This is with all the previous men that she's dated. However, in this case, because of Ben's drinking habits, well, this one does make sense that she's pretty strict when they go out. out, and they cap it off at just 3 beverages. Now, this next rule has to do with the bedroom. According to reports, J-Lo and Ben, they actually have this in their prenuptial agreements. It requires them to have a minimum of 4 intimate relations per week. And yeah, that was apparently her idea. All right, guys, there you have it. Just a look at some of the strict rules that J-Lo has for Ben. Be sure to let me know down below in the comments what you thought about these rules. Some of them made sense, others, what do you think? Apparently this is all in writing as well, and they're very strict rules. J-Lo is not budging when it comes to these, according to reports anyways.
Jennifer Lopez has been exposed by her former employees multiple times in the past.
Didn't J-Lo sue Benny that one time? She fired him and then she sued him?
I know Benny, and he's like my best friend, like I said, my creative soulmate.
Jennifer Lopez has filed a $20 million lawsuit against her ex-chauffeur for extortion and defamation.
And now her connection with Diddy has resurfaced amid all the ongoing drama surrounding him, along with numerous reports that J-Lo has been being rude to people. And these incidents involving former employees are not sitting well with the public at all. In 2012, Jennifer Lopez went on a massive world tour, and she was performing great, having a great stage presence and doing her thing. But behind the scenes, this is where things got kind of crazy and this drama started to kind of evolve. So a hotel cleaner named Prey Dodigi felt very uncomfortable and bummed out by this whole situation that went down. So pretty much she's a dedicated worker who loved her job, took pride in making, sure the hotel room looked clean, spotless, whatever it was. One day, while she was working at the hotel in Germany, her life took a pretty wild turn. So she was cleaning J-Lo's suite, and she's a huge fan, so she couldn't resist the chance to ask for an autograph, as I guess many would. But things went pretty south. As soon as she approached Lopez, who was just chilling in her suite, 2 of her assistants swooped in and they looked right at her saying, "You're not getting an autograph. Pretty much don't even think about it." So obviously she was crushed in this moment. She couldn't believe that this simple request would be so serious. And guys, to make matters even worse, a few days later, she got fired from her job for breaking company policy. So obviously she was heartbroken, confused, and she just didn't understand why this encounter with J-Lo had cost her her job. She didn't mean any real trouble, and she definitely wasn't trying to invade Lopez's privacy. So the whole thing kind of left a bad taste in her mouth, and she felt like she's been treated unfairly. I guess there's 2 ways to look at it, right? J-Lo's pretty successful. She's a celebrity. She doesn't want to be bothered. And in some way, I guess she did invade her privacy. But in the other side, it's like, come on, it's not that serious. It would have taken her 2 seconds of an interaction, But anyways, J-Lo has been often criticized for being, cold, not very accessible to her fans. And this incident just added to the fire, making people wonder if she's really a down-to-earth person as she seems. While the exact reason behind this worker's termination is still a mystery, the incident definitely shed light on celebrity privilege and the rights of just regular people. In a statement, she actually said, "A day later, the cleaning company that employed me at the hotel called and said that Miss Lopez had complained. I was fired right there on the phone because of an autograph." Anyways, next we have J-Lo and Benny Medina that have been working together for over 2 decades, sometimes being best pals and sometimes fighting like cats and dogs. It all started back in 1999 when Benny became J-Lo's manager, helping her become this huge star. They were so tight that Benny was even chosen to be the godfather of J-Lo's twins, Emma and Max. But things took a serious turn in 2003 when J-Lo suddenly fired Benny as her manager.
She accused him of misappropriating her money. She accused Medina of not being a licensed talent agent.
It got even worse when she sued him, saying he broke California's Talent Agency Act. J-Lo wanted all her money back, plus an extra 10% for good measure. So the lawsuit shocked everyone in Hollywood because J-Lo and Benny used to be so close. Benny defended himself by saying he's always did what was best for J-Lo and that he was blindsided by her lawsuit. The lawsuit caused a lot of tension between the two. They had to go to court and argue their sides in front of the judge. The outcome of the case would decide whether they could continue working together and if their friendship could survive. I mean, at that point, I don't think it was. Benny even said the accusation that I misappropriated money from Jennifer Lopez is both untrue and offensive. Jennifer Lopez, by making false allegations against me, is now trying to add me to the long list of people whom she has used and discarded after she took from them all she could get. I look forward to the opportunity to have the world come to know the real Jennifer Lopez. I will defend myself against these lies and will collect from her every dollar for which I am owed. J-Lo eventually bought Benny and Medina back on board, and they stayed close friends ever since. And they actually work together till this day. So I don't know about you guys, but that's a pretty crazy friendship. So anyways, here's another situation. Jennifer Lopez's driver took her to court.
Lopez is suing her former driver, Makeup Minokin, for extortion.
Being a chauffeur is definitely a tough job. Just ask Kaku Minokian. A TMZ reported that Lopez promoted him to personal security and transportation chief, and later that year he ended up in a legal battle with Lopez's team. So this Iraqi-born driver claimed that Lopez promised him a yearly base salary of $72,000 with extra pay that would bring his actual salary to $200,000. And that's a lot of money, guys. So he actually said that Lopez not only stiffed him on the money, but that her assistant Medina verbally abused him. So I guess this Medina guy isn't as innocent as we thought. So Lopez countersued him for extortion, but her lawsuit was thrown out in December 2012, and the two eventually settled on terms that weren't made public. So clearly a lot of things happened behind the scenes, and it might be for a reason. Okay, so J-Lo's agent wasn't having any of it when she fired him. She didn't just fire him though. She also gave Patrick Whitesell, her agent at Endeavor Talent Agency, the boot. Apparently, Endeavor told her it was either Medina or them. Well, guess what? She chose neither. At the time, Whitesell was also representing Ben Affleck, J-Lo's boyfriend at the time, but he hadn't even been working with her for that long. From what I hear, Endeavor and J-Lo weren't exactly shedding any tears over the split. Endeavor has parted company with Jennifer Lopez. The agency said in a statement, "Jennifer is an incredibly talented actress and a good friend, and we wish her much continued success. However, as an agency, we're no longer able to work with her manager, Benny Medina. We thought it would be best for Jennifer and Endeavor that we part company at this time." Jennifer Lopez's assistant, Gilly, could not stand her boyfriend, Casper Smart. Gilly had been J-Lo's right-hand woman for the longest time, but Smart's actions were the actual final straw. So Gilly quit working for J-Lo in 2013 and started working for Mariah Carey, partly because of Smart's behavior. Smart had the freedom to do whatever he wanted at J-Lo's house and was horrible to the staff, which obviously she wouldn't want to deal with. It was just the way he treated the staff that bothered her. She also thought that he didn't respect J-Lo's privacy. He would go into her personal stuff and snoop through her stuff, which obviously she thought was unacceptable. And I mean, I don't think anyone would find that okay. To make things even more interesting, J-Lo and Mariah Carey were feuding cats in the industry. I mean, they have been competing with each other for a while now, and Gilly's decision to join her may have been influenced by this rivalry. So Gilly leaving J-Lo was a big deal. She has been J-Lo's assistant for the longest time, and she knew all the gossip. But the drama with Smart was just too much for her to handle. So when she quit J-Lo to join Carey's team, the entire industry was gossiping about the real reasons behind her departure. So Scott Barnes, the makeup artist who's like super famous for making J-Lo look amazing, found himself in a really weird situation. He was totally dedicated to J-Lo's career and everything, but then news of her secret wedding to Mark Anthony leaks, and it's like a bomb goes off. Everyone's freaking out, and they start suspecting Scott, which is like totally unfair. I mean, after that, Scott's life turned upside down. JLo's team started giving him the cold shoulder, no more invites to events, no more work opportunities. It was like he had the plague or something. Scott opened up about it on the Jeff Probst show. He said that JLo's people were avoiding him like he was a ghost.
And what happened was they got married, her and Mark Anthony.
Right, and it was supposed to be a secret. And somebody leaked the story and I got blamed.
It was super hurtful and confusing. He couldn't believe that they would think he would leak something like that, especially after everything they've been through together. And despite all the drama, Scott stayed professional. He kept working hard, hoping things would get better. And they did. Eventually the truth came out and Scott was cleared of any wrongdoing. But the whole experience was a reminder that even the best relationships can be fragile. And clearly communication's key in these types of situations.
Strict rules Jennifer Lopez forces her staff to follow. Here's a little something about her that might surprise you. She has a strict rule for her staff. No eye contact or talking allowed. It all started back in 2012 when she was building her fancy mansion in Los Angeles. According to a source who spoke to the Daily Star, JLo laid down the law for the workers. She said, if any of you contractors, drivers, or housekeepers even think about making eye contact with me or trying to talk to me, you're out of here. Now, this rule has caused quite a stir. Some people thought it was a bit too much, saying she was being too demanding and standoffish. Others defended her, saying she was just trying to get her work done without distractions. Over the years, there have been rumors and speculations about JLo's communication policy with her staff. Some say she has a team of assistants who handle all the talking, while others say she prefers emails or texts. But whatever method she uses, it's clear that she values efficiency and professionalism. Think about it. JLo's a big celebrity with a hectic schedule. She probably needs some privacy and control over who she interacts with. So by telling her staff to keep their distance, she can focus on her work without getting sidetracked. But it's not just JLo who has a strict policy like this. Other celebrities and public figures do it too, you know? They're just trying to protect their privacy and maintain a professional work environment. So is JLo's policy fair or not? Well, that's up to you to decide. Jennifer Lopez has a bad rep for not paying her workers. Many people have worked with her, like a driver who says she didn't pay him for what they agreed on has sued her. Even her fancy agents and managers have had trouble meeting her high demands, even though they reached an agreement outside of court. Benny Medina, JLo's manager, used to be a big deal in Hollywood and helped her get famous in the 1990s and 2000s. But their friendship went south when Benny said JLo didn't pay him right. JLo said Benny was lying and messing with her money, so she sued him and then fired him. Things got even crazier when JLo split from her agent at William Morris Endeavor, a big Hollywood agency, but it's not clear who broke up with who. Later, JLo and Benny made up, and he's been her manager again since 2008. He even became the godfather to her kids. That's life of a big-time celebrity, I guess. In the movie Made in Manhattan, JLo totally wowed us with her acting as Marissa Ventura, a hardworking hotel maid who falls in love with a super rich millionaire, Christopher Marshall, played by Ralph Fiennes. But guess what? Off-screen, things weren't so rosy for JLo and real-life hotel maids. In 2012, during a tour stop in Germany, JLo had a run-in with a big fan named Prey Dojaj, who was working as a hotel maid. Prey was super excited to meet her idol and respectfully asked for an autograph, but instead of being cool about it, JLo reportedly complained to hotel management. Can you believe that? The next day, poor Prey got fired from her job. Talk about a bummer. The whole situation made people question JLo's empathy, especially since she played a hotel maid in the movie. It's like she forgot about her roots or something. The incident sparked a debate about how celebs should treat service workers. It's important to remember that just because you're famous doesn't mean you can treat people like dirt. JLo's on-screen portrayal of a hotel maid may have resonated with audiences, but her responses to a genuine fan's request left many fans disappointed and disillusioned. Once upon a time, during a tryout for a tour led by the fabulous Jennifer Lopez, there was a twist that left everyone scratching their heads. Among the talented dancers hoping to make the cut was Heather Morris, who later became famous on the show Glee. After hours of tiring dance routines, JLo surprised everyone with a strange question. Who's a Virgo? To everyone's shock, JLo unexpectedly dismissed all the Virgo dancers from the audition. Confusion and disbelief filled the room as the Virgo dancers wondered what just happened. Nobody knows why JLo suddenly had a problem with Virgos. Some people think it might be related to her own astrological sign, Leo. Leos are known for being bold and natural leaders, while Virgos are more analytical and practical. Some astrologers believe that these opposing qualities could lead to potential clashes and misunderstandings. Interestingly enough, JLo used to date Mark Anthony Anthony, a Virgo born on September 16th. Their relationship had its ups and downs before ending in divorce. Although the exact reason for their separation are unknown, some people think the astrological incompatibility may have been a factor. Whether you believe in astrology or not, JLo's decision during the audition was definitely weird. Some people criticized her for being unfair and unprofessional, while others defended her right to make choices based on her silly beliefs. JLo's decision to dismiss the Virgo dancers may have been a coincidence, a reflection of her personal experiences, or a sign of her belief in the power of astrology. Whatever the truth may be, it's definitely something people who were there won't forget about anytime soon. Jennifer Lopez's obsession with all things white has taken the internet by storm. Leaked details from her tour and hotel demands reveal a serious commitment to a strictly white environment. The walls, ceilings, floors, furniture, linens, drapes, and even candles must be all pure white. Even her birth wasn't spared from the white rule, as she reportedly gave birth while wearing a white fur coat. People are buzzing about the reasons for this obsession. Some say it's a need for perfection and cleanliness, while others think it's a way for her to control her surroundings and create a sense of peace. Whatever the reason, her fascination with white is undeniable and has sparked discussions about the power of color in our lives. Years ago, a flight attendant on a United Airlines flight approached Jennifer Lopez and asked about her drink preference. However, instead of responding directly to the attendant, JLo turned to her personal assistant and instructed them to relay the request for a Diet Coke with lime. This incident has made headlines and brought attention to JLo's behavior when interacting with service staff. Beyond the United Airlines incident, JLo exhibited a pattern of detachment from service staff and flight attendants. On another occasion, while traveling on a private jet, she reportedly avoided direct communication with the flight attendants and had her assistant handle all interactions. Similarly, during construction work at her luxurious Bel Air mansion, JLo allegedly instructed her staff to communicate with the construction crews instead of engaging with them herself. It's important to note that her behavior may be influenced by various factors, such as her privacy concerns or the desire to maintain a professional distance. However, her actions have raised questions about her approach to interpersonal interactions, particularly with service staff. While JLo's decision to delegate communication with service staff to her personal assistant may ensure efficiency and discretion, it can also create a barrier between her and those who are asserting her. It is essential for public figures to strike a balance between maintaining privacy and showing respect for those who provide services for them. JLo demands that the people working for her do not make any eye contact at all.
Jennifer also has a bizarre no eye contact rule while dealing with crew members or hired help.
This is allegedly a rule she has for all her employees, among other crazy demands. People are furious after reading reports about this. They're calling the treatment of her workers unacceptable.
It was all like nothing really special.
Jenny's public image has suffered a lot recently, with speculation about problems in her marriage to Ben Affleck, the recent cancellation of her tour because of poor sales, and viral videos that make her seem very rude. People in the entertainment industry who have worked with her are now speaking out, saying she's a diva with super strict rules for her employees. The most surprising one? She doesn't let them make eye contact with her, and several people have apparently confirmed this. Jennifer Lopez's rumored diva behavior has really stirred things up, hurting her already shaky reputation.
Everybody thought I was crazy.
She and Ben Affleck are trying to deflect the divorce rumors, but now JLo's facing some unflattering reports. According to an industry insider, she has a strange rule where her employees aren't allowed to make eye contact with her. Guys, it's usually best to give people the benefit of the doubt, but there are many people speaking out right now. One insider shared, a friend of ours worked lighting backstage at one of her concerts. All of the workers were strictly instructed, do not look at Miss Lopez. There has to be no eye contact.
MS Lopez, there's to be no eye contact, one online user alleged.
This isn't just one unique experience, as more people joined in to tell the story. I knew people who worked at Mohegan Sun and they were instructed to totally avoid eye contact with Diva. They still laugh about her to this day because far bigger celebs have appeared there that have been far more gracious and friendly. This was said by somebody that weighed in. People on X, formerly Twitter, trashed her after hearing these stories. I never heard anyone share a pleasant story about working with Jennifer Lopez. One of my friends worked on set with her, and the eye contact thing is true, LOL. Several people who supposedly worked for her or knew people who did remarked that it was a rule JLo is very insistent on. Of course, these are just rumors, but the singer has a rocky history when it comes to the treatment of her employees. And with so many people speaking out, seems like it's probably true.
Okay, because I won't have anything to wear if you don't.
PR expert Edward Hopkins recently decided to give his opinion on Jennifer Lopez's public image, and it's not looking good. Between the rumors about her marriage and the comments about her treatment of fans and staff, her reputation is spiraling. High-profile relationships come with intense media scrutiny. The rumors of a potential divorce can overshadow professional achievements. In today's digital age, where every action can be captured and shared globally, maintaining a positive image is more challenging but very crucial. This was shared by him. In addition to the speculation about her marriage, including talks of her not wanting Ben Affleck to be close with the mother of his children, Jennifer Garner, the expert also brought up videos on TikTok depicting her in an unflattering light, appearing rude to fans, appearing rude to strangers, and this has hurt her image deeply. While obviously every situation is different and it can't be easy to deal with people constantly prying into her personal life, she might need to do some damage control if she wants to repair her reputation.
JLo's love may not cost a thing, but being married to her has a lot of rules.
JLo has some strict rules she follows in life, and some of them transfer over to her lovers. Let's look at some rules Jennifer Lopez made Ben Affleck follow in their marriage. No smoking allowed. The well-known meme of Ben Affleck smoking outside and appearing genuinely worn out by life is something we've all seen. Although it's no secret that Ben likes to smoke, there supposedly used to be a rigorous no smoking policy in the home.
Smoke-free zone. Here's hoping Ben sticks to this rule for both his health and Jen's.
JLo loves Ben, but she's sick of his filthy cigarettes, a 2022 OK Magazine source stated. She didn't want to be a bother, so she initially put up with his smoking because it was his sole habit, but now she can't bear it. She detests cigarette smoke, and to make matters worse, she can smell it on his clothes. She would prefer that Ben not smoke at all, but he goes outdoors to smoke now, the insider revealed.
It was very much great and joyful and wonderful.
No female flight attendants. As a result of her ex-husband Mark Anthony's reported liaison with a flight attendant, Lopez reportedly forbids female flight attendants from working on her private aircraft, according to Fox News. Only 3 drinks when you go out. According to Cheat Sheet, there have been long-standing rumors that Lopez has a rigid only 3 drinks when we're out policy with each of her previous relationships. No cheating. Ben and Jen, like every other relationship, had no desire for cheating. They supposedly even came close to putting a contract in place to guard against cheating.
Another rule JLo has for her husband is no cheating.
The Daily Mail claims that after Ben supposedly spent the night with a woman, a no cheating condition was included to Affleck and Lopez's 2003 prenuptial agreement, which never went into force. A source told the publication the prenuptial agreement is to protect both their assets and says that if they do split, they can keep their own money, except if Ben cheats. What she does want is for Ben to give her some guarantee that he will never cheat again. He must get along with his ex.
One of the more encouraging rules, friends with Mark Anthony.
Both Lopez and Affleck had dated famous people in the past, but Hollywood Life claims that Affleck had to get along with Mark Anthony, Lopez's ex-husband, at any costs. Well, Lopez and the father of her twins are said to be quite close even after their 2014 divorce. This seems like a sensible guideline for blended families in general. He needs to be in charge of all relocation. It has been reported by The Marca that Ben Affleck handles all of their relocation-related decisions, including moving and house purchases, in order to maintain Lopez's happiness and contentment. While looking for a house might be very difficult, it seems even more weird to not divide the work equally. No more kids. It's said that as soon as they were back together, Lopez and Affleck agreed to stop having children. They do not want any new children. They are both past that part in their lives. JLo's connection with his kids makes Ben even more certain that this is fate. A source told Hollywood Life in 2022. They are focusing on raising them to be good adults now, and the party of 5 is enough for them. No big tips. Long accused of being impolite to waitstaff, Lopez even allegedly makes sure Affleck doesn't waste too much money, according to one employee. According to a now deleted TikTok video via Your Tango, a former employee of a casino told the story about how Lopez was stingy with her money, saying Lopez tells Affleck not to tip. He doesn't tip anymore, baby. You don't need to tell him nothing. He ain't doing it. Others claimed that if he did, she would steal the large tips from the employees in the service sector. The relationship between Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck was widely publicized from the start in 2001 till Lopez filed for divorce in August 2024. Many things have been said about their courtship and the rules they supposedly observed over the years. Lopez and Affleck first crossed paths on the set of Giggly in 2001, and they shortly started dating in 2002. Due to the media's attention to their romance, they got engaged and remained together till 2004. After getting back in touch in May 2021, they engaged in less than a year, and on July 16, 2022, they astonished everyone by eloping to Las Vegas. Following a 2-year marriage, there were rumors of a split in the spring of 2024. On August 20th, exactly 2 years after their grander second wedding in Georgia, Lopez filed for divorce formally. Their supposed marital rules revealed just how hard they tried to hold things together, and their PDA-filled red carpet moments and films that purportedly show them squabbling at events have demonstrated all the highs and lows of their doomed romance. Boundaries are crucial in any partnership or marriage, and Lopez and Affleck appear to have strong ones, but some of these alleged guidelines may have been overly stringent.